A dual Group 1 Sunday we've got coming up for you at Sha Tin. Welcome to the Race by Race previews. Paul Lally is alongside me to preview all of the 11 race card, and we kick things off with the first of the day, which is a Class 4 1200 metres, the Beat the Clock handicap. And the field consists of Dashing Dragon, the 3-year-old colt dropping in grade here with the blinkers going on. Blazing Wind, James McDonald back in town to ride. I Am the Boss, California Blitz has only had the one run. Further in, you've got Divine Moonlight, who's on debut, a son of Vadamos. Fit Beauty's on debut. Musang King is also another debutant. Top Dragons had one run. Great Spirit comes into this off a Happy Valley trial. All Eyes on Me. Meep Meep is back again for another go. Tactical Command, Drawn Better, Fun and Glory, and Talents Supremo, who ran well for fourth last time out. Off 40 is eligible for Class 5 for Paul. Newcomers in the race, one of them could be up front. Yeah, look, Divine Moonlight shown some really good speed in his trials and did win easily. Did have Brittany Wong on in his last trial, so did have the light weight. I'm the Boss likes the lead as well. Musang King and Fun and Glory, I think those two can come across together from their wide draws. Fit Beauty has shown a bit in his trials as well. Great Spirit, and then the rest generally do get back. Okay, that is the speed map for the first of the day. Well, James McDonald, of course, back in town. Paul, can he kick things off here with Blazing Wind, who's been running well just without winning this horse? Yeah, definitely. Look, he's going to be a chance once again from barrier one. He'll have plenty of fans of James McDonald aboard. He'll probably go out close to favourite, if not the favourite. Look, and he's been racing well. I've got one to beat him, but look, he is one of the major chances. He managed to get through that gap. I thought he had every chance once the gap appeared, but he just couldn't quite go on with it. Of course, the form has been franked there with Sunny de Best, who was unlucky in that race, coming out and winning since. Divine Moonlight is on debut now. He got out to a big lead here to Divine Moonlight. He's a son of Vadamos out of the mare Kayleen. So that makes him a half-brother to Shua Joyful, who races here with Ricky Yu. He's with Pierre Rung. Blake Shin rides from barrier 13. Yeah, look, a nice trial from him. Now, he did have the light weight because Brittany Wong, this is the one I was talking about when we did the speed maps. Now, he did ride him, but look, I thought he kept going, won really nicely enough here. He's got a senior rider, Blake Shin, will jump aboard, and I wouldn't be surprised a winning debut from this horse. Yeah, interesting horse with that trial. As I said, he got out to a massive lead up there at Chung Fa. Great Spirit, now he has been to Happy Valley trials recently, and he was, of course, was a winner 4 starts ago. The jockey last start, Matthew Poon, sort of suggesting Paulie might have been disadvantaged by the pace of the race between the half mile and the 400. Yeah, he's drawn up barrier number 8, has Great Spirit. Look, it was a nice win 4 starts ago. Slightly disappointing since. Now, in saying that, the trial was okay. It was just a quiet trial. But look, I was just happy to watch him in this. Okay, so that is the verdict there on the runner trained by Dennis. Yep, you're with the first starter here in race 1. Yeah, I'm going to go with Divine Moonlight to kick off his career in style here in Hong Kong. Blake Shin aboard. 2 visiting jockeys actually, first and second. Blazing Wind second. I'm going to put another of the first starters in, a Fit Beauty. He's had plenty of trials to get him ready for this, and I didn't mind his last trial. And Blinkers will go on for his debut run here. And the last trial Blinkers on, he definitely improved. And then Fun and Glory in there for 4th. 5, 2, 6, 13. That is Paul's summation on the selections for the first of the day. And don't forget an earlier start time on Sunday with 12:30 for race number 1. It's time to have a look at race number 2 on the program, the Penophobia Handicap, and this is for Class 4 gallopers over 1,200 metres. At the top, Sky Joy goes up £5 for that last start to win, drawn barrier 4 this time. Sunny Darling, disappointing last time out, has been back to the trials. Beauty Missile, the cheek pieces are off the pacifiers with the cowls being reapplied on the long-standing maiden. Chill Master up for his second start. Flash Current is on debut with the tongue tie going on. Noble Go second up. Quick Contribution second up. Raging Rapids has had 18 barrier trials leading into his debut run. Spicy Standard, another first starter for John Size, with a smile, a first starter for Chris So and Zach Purton. Ben Venue, along with Loving Vibes and Oriental Tycoon, on the way to Class 5 by the looks of things there with him. Sunny Darling led up in a trial, Paul, but he did yield ground in the home straight. He did. 9 of the 14 runners here
have had 2 starts or less. So look, a lot of these horses are just kicking off their careers. With a Smile looked really good in his trials. For Zach Purton aboard from barrier 1, he's going to be right there. Sky Joy, he's got a bit of draw. Spicy Standard's gone forward in some of his trials. He might try and get across. Loving Vibes, no one that can go forward as well. Bienvenue's been getting back and running on nicely. Noble Go and Raging Rapids, I think we'll have to go back. And he's well educated.
He certainly is. So let's hear from Jerry Chow. He got to Sky Joy home last time out. Of course, the form has been franked with Sunny de Best, and Nick spoke with him at the track on Friday morning.
Jerry, Sky Joy is your ride coming up in race number 2 on Sunday. Nice horse, this guy, and it was a good win last time.
Yeah, he won very nicely last time, and he's a very honest horse, and he showed his gate speed, and he can put him in the forward position. Yeah.
Jerry, just going back and looking at the replay, I mean, he looks to have a really good attitude, doesn't he? I mean, he ran on strongly for you as well.
Yeah, when I using a whip, he respond very well, and he just very honest and go with me.
He managed to do that from gate 14, so I guess we can upgrade that run on that respect. Gate 4 makes your life a little bit easier this time, doesn't it?
Yeah, much easier, and we can decide we can be more forward or take a little bit seat and get cover, and yeah.
On form, I mean, he beat Sunny de Best. He won next time out as well. The horse that beat him on debut is Honglock Golf. That form's pretty strong. So on paper, anyway, he probably is the one to beat, isn't he?
Yeah, the form looked very, very nice, and he beat a good horse, and hopefully he can get a job done again.
There he is, Jerry Chow, talking the top weight in the race, Sky Joy, who has drawn better this week. We move on and we have a look at Bienvenue. Now, this horse ran exceptionally well last time out. Paul from back in the field. He's trained by David Hayes. Lyle Hewitson rides. He was slightly held up in sort of the mid part of the straight here, but there was still a fair bit to like about the run.
Yeah, I really like this run. And look, they didn't go quick early either. You can see Marshall My Universe is a very good horse. He's won a couple in a row now, got first run on him. But once he got into the clear, he finished off really strongly. His track work's always been good. His trials have been good. He's had 5 starts now, so the penny's starting to drop for him. And look, with that race experience, I think he could be one of the major players.
Okay, that has been the verdict there. We move on to Flash Current, who is on debut, a son of Darren. He's had trials in New Zealand prior to arriving. A left bone injury he's had, and 3 trials in total. What did you make of him?
Yeah, look, he won this trial. He was pushed out to win it, though, on the inside. He has had that setback with that injury. You can see he was really pushed out to win. He's got a nice enough draw, barrier number 5. Look, I was just happy to watch him on his debut run.
Okay, Flash Current, trained by Jimmy Ting. Next trial here is Raging Rapids. We could have picked one of 18 here. For John Size, of course, he stepped out a debutant midweek at Happy Valley and was a winner. Sky Jewellery. Alexi Bedell rides with a tongue tie going on. He's generally gone back or been midfield in the trials, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and that's why I sort of put him that way in the speed map as well. He was pushed out again in this trial. So, look, I was happy to watch him once again in this, but you can never tell with those John Size first starters. But, look, yeah, I didn't put him in the numbers.
Let's have a look at a horse which is going to take a fair bit of money, one would suggest, here off his trials. I speak of With a Smile, who's to be ridden by Zach Purton from barrier 1. For Chris So, he trialled in Australia with Patrick and Michelle Payne. He was in a trial as well with the Kaying Radiance, who's here, and he looks like he's been well educated for this, Paul.
Definitely does. A son of Merchant Navy. Barrier 1, Zach Purton aboard. Probably start favourite, I'd say, the way he's been trialling. He's been trialling very well, and he obviously is going to go. He's one of the major chances for sure as well.
Sonny Darling in that trial, he of course gave a bit of ground there over the final stages after being disappointing on the all-weather last time out. Bienvenue for you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bienvenue to win, to beat the first starter With a Smile. Just with that extra racing that he's had under his belt, Bienvenue. But With a Smile does look smart. Sky Joy, we heard from Jerry Chow there, from barrier 4, he'll get his chance. And Loving Vibes, a better run from him for third last start. 12, 11, 1, 13.
Paul with one of the race brigade in race number 2 amongst a few first starters for the second of the day. Third of the day kickstarts the early treble at Sha Tin on races 3, 4 and 5. It is the Helene Paragon handicap, a Class 4 mile contest, and Flying Luck, a winner 4 starts ago, but unlucky in his last couple. Ballistic Win was better last start. Bright Inheritance is trialled at Happy Valley. Matsu Victor starts from barrier 12 for James McDonald. Massive Action, better from him last start. Mighty Strength, Celtic Times, he's been out of sorts. Gold Master covered a bit of ground last time out. Storm Runner, further down your Carry On Smiling, better from him last start. Chater Gold, Mr. Dapper now in the stable of David Eustace, and the visor is off, the blinkers being reapplied and the tongue tie going on. Sunday Serenade, Smart Beauty, 0 from 10 in this grade of Class 4. He likes to lead, Paul. He's easy to find. Massive Action.
Yeah, he should be able to get across from the wide draw. Celtic Times can be positive from an inside draw. Mr. Dapper went forward in a recent trial. He's with a new stable now as well. Storm Runner, Ballistic Win, then Mighty Strength. Carry On Smiling, as you mentioned, better run from him. Flying Luck's drawn barrier number 6, so he just might be a little bit further back. Sunday Serenade gets back as well.
Let's have a look first of all at a replay which does include Flying Luck for Casper Fownes and Blake Shin. They team up here, and he just wanted to lay in the home run in the early part after being slightly held up here as well, Paul. And considering all the obstruction he faced in the straight, it was a pretty good effort, still just the same. He's
one of these horses that he needs luck in running because he does get back in his races. You know, he's drawn nicely in his last few starts, 4, 4 and 7. But he doesn't have that early gate speed. Once he does get in the clear, though, one thing he does have is a very good finish. So, look, Legend St Paul's was a winner waiting to happen in this. It was a really good run. I think he's going to be tough to beat in this.
Yeah, Matsu Victor, he's been pretty honest as well. He won at a big price a couple of starts ago. Ballistic Win was fourth. Benno Jung and Ben Thompson combining here. Alice Wong was aboard last time out. Sort of got hampered coming off the back straight. Again, they were more negative with the tactics, which I do think suits this horse, Paul, but he's been backed and beaten a few times now.
Yeah, and he's up in trip. I preferred the run of the horse behind him, actually, which ran 6th, which was the Carry On horse, Carry On Smiling. You can see him finishing off nicely. Now, both these two horses are up to 1,600 metres, and Carry On Smiling was making ground on Ballistic Win by the end there.
He certainly was. One more to highlight off the Happy Valley trials, and this horse has been, fair to say, a one-hit wonder. Bright Inheritance, when he won it well over 100 to 1. Thought the trial was probably a bit better coming into this, Paul, and Hugh Bowman rides. That sort of piqued the interest a little bit. Abnormal breathing a concern.
Yeah, that's a little concern. These 1,700 metre trials worry me a little bit as well. I mean, look, he's back to the 1,600 metres, but he wasn't asked to do anything in the trial. So, look, he has won at big price before, and when he did win, he was well over 100 to 1.
So maybe he can improve and go better. Bright Inheritance, who are you with here?
With the toppy, Flying Luck, I think he can get the race run to suit and get that well-deserved win. Carry On Smiling up to a mile. Mighty Strength, another one who's been racing pretty consistently. He comes back from Happy Valley, which I think he's better suited here at Sha Tin. And Sunday Serenade, he's a horse who's caught the eye, finishing off strongly in his races. 110, 613.
Let's look at the third, and it does jump at 130. Race number 4 is the Waikuku Handicap. It is a Class 4 race. This over the trip of 1,400 metres. And here is the lineup with Fun Together, who was second behind Divas 12 last time out. Leslie's dropping in grade here for Michael Chang and James McDonald, but he has barrier 14. Fantastic Fun. The rider said maybe he didn't like the all-weather last time out, the son of Justify. Brilliant Express beaten at 1.8 last start. Etalon All's been consistent. Top time comes back to Sha Tin and steps up to 1,400 metres. Strathpether ran really well last start, considering he covered ground. Forerunner, he's taken a bit of money with him recently. Euro Rocks, World Hero, and Perfecto Moments off a rating of 42 down in barrier number 3. Maybe he's able to dictate here off the front, Paul, Fun Together without too much competition?
Yeah, well, he did try to do that last start and did run nicely there for second. Second to none can go forward from a low draw. Strathpether won't be far away. World Hero, I thought Brilliant Express got a little bit too far back off a slow pace last time, so he'll be a little bit closer in the run. Patch of Stars gets back. Forerunner, as you mentioned, gets back. Etalon All from his draw, he's drawn barrier 9. I think he'll go back as well.
Fun together, the first of them we highlight through the replays for race number 4, and Brilliant Express. You can see he's sort of back here, Paul, covering a bit of ground. He was, well, he has been costly his last 3 now. He's had a quiet trial since. I think they wanted to race a little closer, but they were just in the end a victim of circumstances.
Yeah, so he's worth another chance if he can get a little bit closer in the run. Look, Fun Together I'm going to include as well. He stayed on nicely enough here, but he was entitled to do off that slow pace. So you can see him running on okay, Brilliant Express. He was disappointing because he's a 1.8 favourite, but I just don't know if the race was actually a run to suit him there.
Etalon Or, he's been running well from wide draws recently. Etalon Or, and we can see him, he's very wide on the turn here. World Hero right behind him in the trail. The horse up outside the leader, Paul, is Juno Pride, and he's been able to since come out and win.
Yeah, he has. Etalon Or, now he's going to, he gets back and he'll be running on strongly as well. Like we've seen him do that, but he was beaten favourite last time. He's been consistent, but he hasn't managed to get his nose in front. A better run here from World Hero, and I think he can be a lot closer in the run as well. But yeah, these two are on the cusp for me, but they didn't quite make it in.
Yeah, World Hero just behind them there in the top 4, staying on well enough at the end with that nice run he had there in transit. This horse here, you've had a bit of time for him in the past, Paul. Top Time. Do they have to go back and take their medicine here? But yeah, in saying that, Up and Trip, does that assist him? Does that give him an opportunity? I think
it definitely does. Now, they absolutely walked in this race, and this horse stole it from them. He had the perfect trail. So, look, it was a lot better run than it looks on paper, because he was still finishing off strongly here, as you can see, towards the end, and that was off a super slow pace. So they're over a second slower for the first 800 in that race.
Yes, it wasn't ideal there for him. Just going back to Brilliant Express quickly, we'll have a look at his trial while we can as well, and not ask for too much in this barrier trial up at Chungfa. Typical sort of John-sized trial from this guy. Yeah, look, he'll be trying to redeem himself here, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of support for him once again. I mean, if you did back him last time at 1.8, you want to climb in once again for sure. And as you said, the trial was a nice trial from him. So he looks like he's going into the race cherry ripe. He'll be short? Yeah, I think he'll be short again, actually. I think he will be. I'm not going to put him on top, but I'm going to put him in as a Quinella horse here. I'm going to go with Top Time, because he didn't get the race run to suit. I like him coming up to 1,600 metres from a wide draw. Hopefully we'll get a price on him. We'll make him the each-way value for the day to beat Brilliant Express. Fun Together from the front. And Strathpetha has been very consistent recently as well. 7, 5, 1 and 9. Paul searching for value with the Top Time, going against the likely favourite Brilliant Express for race number 4. Details for race number 5 about to appear on your screens for our action at Sha Tin at the weekend. And it's the Seasons at Bloom handicap at Class 4 over the 7 furlongs. Beauty Glory, a 4-time winner. His last win came off at 64. Jolly Ruler wasn't the worst on the all-weather last start. He's trialled well. Galvanic for Blake Shin. Mr. Energy has got barrier number 14. Seamus Storm was very good on debut from a wide draw. He's got barrier 3 this week. Noble Fans third to his debut. A Smiling Collector was better last time out. Jumbo Fortune, disappointing last start, has been back to the trials since. Golden Tronic Mighty's slowly been getting better. Lucky Impact, a recent trial winner. Beautiful Win comes out of a good form race. And then you've got Circuit Maximus, probably looking for the class drop off that rating of 41. Beauty Glory, Paul, we know he likes to go forward. Can Gale Saga plant himself up onto the speed somewhere? I think that's what he's going to try and do. He's drawn wide, so he's going to try and get across. Patch of Time, Smiling Collectors went forward his last start. Seamus Storm was a good debut run from him, and he should get every opportunity. Jumbo Fortune from the inside draw. Mr. Energia, he's drawn wide once again. That's the speed map for our 5th event of the day. Seamus Storm for David Hayes. This horse likely to be well supported through betting here. Paul, his debut run was pretty strong when you look at it. He covered ground mid-fed. He was obviously no match for Endeared, but he was definitely the best of the rest. Oh yeah, and look, he was 3-4 wide all the way, so he didn't get any rub of the green in his debut run here. But it was a good run, and his track work since has been really good. He's actually seems to have improved off this run. He's sort of thrived from it. Hopefully he's learned a lot, so he looks the one to beat for me. Okay, that Seamus Storm, he was beaten there just over 2 lengths in the end, but a good showing from that wide draw. Moving on to Noble Fans, he comes out of the John Size stable, Brenton Avdella in barrier 5, so similar sort of draw to what he had first up, which was barrier 3, and he was only beaten a length and a half here, Paul, by Solid Win, a horse that had been threatening to win one.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a nice run from him as well. He's a horse that there was some market support for him on his debut. He was at 12, so another one that seems to be working well since then. So, yeah, he looks like he's a chance once again.
Okay, and Lucky Impact, one more horse we see out of the trials here. He's a recent trial winner, Paul, and he was beaten by Super Legends last time out, who's since won, and Fortune Whiskey's actually come out of that race and also delivered barrier 10, only his 5th start.
Yeah, so look, he's entitled to improve off that. The draw was what put me off a little bit with him, because he might be just trapped a little bit wide in the run. Nothing wrong with the trial, though. The trial was really good, and this was on the all-weather, so they haven't raced him on the all-weather yet. So if he doesn't win here, there might be options for him on the all-weather.
Okay, look to move fairly freely there in that barrier trial, did Lucky Impact. On top for this race number 5?
Yeah, going to go with Seamus Storm. He's only had the one run, and it was a very good run. I think he's improved since there. I'll stick with Mr. Energia. He's mixing his runs now from the turf and the all-weather. His best runs have been on the all-weather, to be fair, but he hasn't had much luck on the turf, and fortunately for him, he's drawn once again. But Zach Purton's sticking with him. At Noble Fans, in there for 3rd, was a good debut run. And then Golden Tronic Mighty, he's a big horse. He's one of the biggest horses here, and he's slowly getting there as well. 6, 4, 7 and 10.
Paul Keane on Seamus Storm for race number 5 on the programme. That's set down for 2:30, the race that does precede the first of our 2 Group 1s. Race number 6, the Group 1 Centenary Sprint Cup here over the 1,200 metres for Hong Kong $13 million. Ka Ying rising at the top with that rating of 128 here for Zach Purton and David Hayes. Victor, the winner, who won this race last year, Helios Express, runner-up to Ka Ying rising from last start. How Deep Is Your Love was in that race, but he has since won down the straight at Group 3 level. Invincible Sage, Lucky With You, Beauty Waves and Magic Control. Craig Williams in town for Cody Moe from barrier number 4. Pace here, Paul, does he put some pressure on maybe Magic Control, or is he happy just to sit behind maybe?
This is the thing, if Victor the winner wants to lead, and we know he's a strong leader, if Magic Control tries to take him on, because he's a 1,000-metre horse, Magic Control, then is he going to ruin his chance? If he wants to ride his own race, and of course Craig Williams is a senior jockey, I thought he might just slip him behind. If he does do that, he's going to really help Ka Ying Rising. If he does go outside Victor the winner, he's going to make it very hard for the favourite, because he could be trapped 3 wide. The rest will just find their positions behind, I've got no doubt. But as those first 3, what's going to happen in the first 150 metres of this race?
Indeed, and Hugh Bowman will be looking for plenty of pace on, so this horse doesn't over-race like he can do sometimes. That's Helios Express.
Hugh, Helios Express is your ride coming up in the Group 1 Sprint on Sunday. He got pretty close to Ka Ying Rising last time. I imagine you'd like to go one place better, wouldn't you?
Well, of course we would. And the horse in fantastic order. He's trialled up well since that race, and yeah, he's progressing nicely. So see what happens.
He's had a recent trial here. How did he feel in that trial?
Yeah, he felt good. He felt really good. He's a horse that continues to develop and mature, which is required. But he's going about business very well, and I'm sure we can expect a performance as good, if not better, than the international race last month. And yeah, he's certainly well placed.
Given what we know about him here and his profile, and obviously how good a 4-year-old he was, winning obviously the Classic Cup up to 1,800 metres, he's quite a unique type of horse, the fact that he's been able to sort of drop back to this trip and get as competitive at this level.
Well, I think it was amazing the way he's able to stretch himself, certainly. I think a mile's certainly within his repertoire, but I think stretching up to the 1,800, although it was against the 4-year-olds and it was a very slowly run event, I think he's certainly more suited in these races where the speed's on and he gets in that beautiful rhythm. Obviously, he has to
tackle Ka Ying Rising, who's arguably the best sprinter in the world at the moment. So, I mean, you know, we're on no illusion there, as I've said before, but I mean, that is what it is. We can only deal with the horse that we got, and he's a very good horse, and I don't think we've seen the best of him. So we'll continue to, you know, treat him as such, and the results will look after themselves.
They certainly will. I mean, when you put it like that, obviously with Ka Ying Rising, I mean, we were all, you know, fully aware of how good he actually is. As a fellow rider in races with him, did you see any chinks in his armour at all? Or, I mean, how do you try and go about beating a horse like him?
Well, I think if I try and go out and beat him, the first thing I'll do is I'll beat myself. So that's not the way I'll approach the race. I'll approach it like I would any other race, and that's to ride Helios Express to run his peak performance. And if that's good enough to win, well, it'll be 3 cheers. But look, I think focusing on Ka Ying Rising, he's got the tactical speed to put himself in the race. He can obviously run the time, and he's proven it race after race. So he's a very consistent horse. So, you know, I said before that Helios Express is continuing to develop and improve, and I don't think we've seen the best of him. And, you know, from the outside looking in, you'd have to say the same about Ka Ying Rising. So 2 very good horses, and you know, there's some other opposition in the race as well, so we won't dismiss them either, but it's going to be an interesting race.
In depth there with Hugh Bowman regarding Helios Express for the Group 1 sprint. Let's move on and look at the replay from International Day, Paul. The sprint there, and Ka Ying Rising up front, Helios Express behind them in traffic. How Deep Is Your Love back and wide. Beauty weaves a path all over the show. Victor, the winner, was the one applying the pressure outside Ka Ying Rising here with California Spangle. And as we heard from Zach post-race, that probably just took a little bit out of Ka Ying Rising.
Yeah, I think it did. Look, Victor, the winner, should get the rail. Well, he will get the rail from barrier 1. So I think he's going to be get a lot better run. I can see the same Quinella happening in this race with Ka Ying Rising and Helios Express, the one finishing off strongly. 7 of the 8 runners came out of that race. The Magic Control, obviously the new kid on the block.
And Helios Express was home there in a 22 flat for his last section there. Down the straight we go to the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. Magic Control led them up. Just wanted to lay out a little bit, and the rider had to stop riding inside the 100 metres briefly. Beauty Waves and, of course, How Deep Is Your Love really fought hard for this victory, Paul.
He did, and look, he's better over 1200, How Deep Is Your Love, so he's definitely the one to take out of this race. This is Magic Control's go. It's the 1,000 metres straight here at Sha Tin. This is where he wins his races. This is not really How Deep Is Your Love's go, but he did finish off really nicely and managed to get him on the line. So it was a good run from him. And from barrier 3 with James McDonald aboard, I know he gets back, but small field, I think he'll be running on strongly.
What about Victor, the winner? He's been back to Happy Valley Trials here on the 10th. So last Friday morning, he won this. Can David Eustace turn him around?
Well, this is the thing. I think one thing about him is he's going to have the rail, which he definitely didn't have in that last race, and he dropped out. We know at his best he's a good horse. He won this race last year, Victor, the winner. The trial was good, but he had no pressure on him. I'm not sure if he can beat the top 3, but I'm going to put him in for 4th.
Yep, he of course won this race last year, as you mentioned, and Lucky With You was second in this race, so a bit of a turnaround with the field to hear a few newcomers lining up in this as well. Paul, Ka Ying Rising, despite the draw, still the one to beat?
Yeah, I think he is. Look, especially if Magic Control doesn't take on Victor, the winner, I think he can get across easy, but if they decide to take him on, that's all. Just makes it a little bit tricky for Zach, but he'll work it out. He's on top to beat Helios Express from the back, How Deep Is Your Love, and Victor, the winner. So 1, 3, 4, 2, round the top.
Those are Paul's selections for the first of the Group 1s, which is time to get underway at 3 p.m, race number 6 Sunday. The 7th is the Soundprint Handicap. It is a Class 3 race over 1,400 metres, and here's the lineup with Superb Boy. Blinkers going on, and last one was off a rating of 73. Hugh Bowman rides for Francis Lloyd. Gracious Express, blinkers going on as well. The cheek pieces are off. Prestige Always winning gold, was only beaten 3 3/4, got back and ran on down the outside. Chain of Gold coming to Sha Tin for his first race day start. Rising from Ashes, Live and Let Live, Tony Cruz and Angus Chung combining there from 11. Everyone Stars on debut. He was Lloyd the Leopard when he won at Geelong in Australia. Light Years Charm with the Namjong Kingdom. Find My Love has won a recent trial. Patch of Cosmo, Armour War Eagle drawn wide. He's won a recent trial at Chungfa, and Thunder Blink. He's had the unkindest of cuts. He's 2 stone lighter from barrier number down towards the bottom 5. Superb Boy, Paul to lead.
Yeah, look, there's no real leader in this race. Superb Boy does like to go forward, which should give Gracious Express an opportunity to get across with blinkers on from that wide draw. Prestige Always, then Find My Love has been racing a little bit handier in his runs. Light Years Charm should get that lovely run. He was well back last time. I think he'll be a lot closer. Thunder Blink and Live and Let Live, he actually finished off strongly enough last time, and Namjong Kingdom's been working well leading into it.
Let's look at Light Years Charm first of all, and obviously he's run well in his 2 starts, Paul, but the key this week has to be that he's drawn low. He must settle a lot closer, surely.
You'd think so, right? And I think that'd be the winning for him. Look, he's been really catching the eye on his runs. He's only had the 2, but he's finished off strongly in both. He drew 11 here, had to go all the way back. He's drawn barrier number 1, so I can see him a lot closer in the run here. And it was a really nice run from him. Bundle Award be one of the favourites on his inside in a later race, so I think he's a really good chance.
Of course, that race was won by Packing Angel. Trial time, and it's at Namjong Kingdom. Had a little bit of time for this horse in the past at Namjong Kingdom. The tongue tie's coming off. Brenton of Della is aboard. He was aboard in this recent trial. First run was okay. Second run was okay. Disappointing on the all-weather. They come back to the turf.
Yeah, look, they tried the experiments with him. It didn't really work. So coming back to the turf with him, nice trial, under a good hold as he went to the line as well. So as you say, his track work's been good and his trials have been good. And I like the way he really sort of charged through the line there, and he wasn't too far away at the end there. So he was almost in front after the line.
Do we give Armour War Eagle some sort of a chance here from barrier 12? He blundered at the start last time out with Lyle Hewitson on board here again for Mark Newnham off this trial up at Chungfa.
Yeah, barrier 12, so he might have to go back again. Look, he's had the 9 starts. He's been placed in 4 of them, though. Hasn't managed to get his nose in front yet, but a couple of those runs haven't been too bad. Has caught the eye. Pushed out a little bit in this trial, I thought. You could see him just asked to quick in, which he did do. He won it narrowly, but from that draw, I'm going to watch him.
We haven't seen his trial, but where's your old mate Find My Love at the moment?
Yeah, look, he's a new stable, isn't he, with Find My Love? He's been around a little bit. I've left him out, actually. I want to see if he can do something, but he has been a little bit disappointing recently.
A recent trial winner. Who's on top then?
I'm going to go with the 9 on top here, which is Zach Purdon's mount, which is Light Years Charm. A lot close in the run from the inside draw. I like the blinkers going on Gracious Express. He's only the one-time winner from his 11 starts. James McDonald will jump aboard. Now, every 1 star, we've had Eric the Eel up here in the past. Now we've got Lloyd the Leopard. He had 1 start at Geelong in Australia before he got here, and won really impressively, I thought. His trials have been okay, so I wanted to include him. I think there's a lot of ability there with this grey horse. And then Prestige Always in there for 4th. He, with Blake Sinsmount, should put himself just in behind the pace. 9-2-8-3.
That is a look at race number 7, the Class 3 over the 1400 metres. The Group 1 Stewards Cup over the 1600 metres is race number 8 at Sha Tin Sunday, and here's the lineup with last year's winner hitting the ranks here. Voyage Bubble, of course, won the Hong Kong Mile back in December, 42 days ago. California Spangled back up to a mile. Beauty Eternal. You got Beauty Joy there as well from barrier number 7. Galaxy Patch with Blake Shin, Cheng Cheng Glory, Red Lion and Patch of Theta, the Chinese Club Challenge Cup winner at Group 3 level, stepping up into Group 1 company. California Spangle here, Paul, to lead. How much pressure does Beauty Eternal put on that scenario up front? Yeah,
look, from barrier 8, I think he's just going to have to press on with California Spangle, but I don't think California Spangle will want to give up the rail. So they might just have to do it together. If that happens, it's going to give perfect runs to Voyage Bubble, Patch of Theta, Red Lion, Cheng Cheng Glory, and then Beauty Joy. I think Galaxy Patch will just go back from his draw.
He's another one flying the flag for the ISG sale here in Hong Kong. It's Patch of Theta, the Chinese Club Challenge Cup winner from last start. Let's hear from his jockey, Sha Tin.
Tin, we've got Group 1 action coming up on Sunday, and your mount in the Stewards Cup is Patch of Theta, who you were on last time out. It must be an exciting time, obviously, staying on him, and he's an exciting horse.
Yes, Nick, he's a very exciting horse. Of course, it was a really nice win last time. He's a progressing horse. So yeah, I'm really happy with his performance.
I know this is obviously a totally different level to his Group 3 win, but to take the positives out of it, which there were plenty. I mean, he, as you say, he's an up-and-coming horse, and he clearly has a bit more to offer, doesn't he?
Yeah, 100%. If you look at his race last time, he did a couple of things wrong, you know. First turn, he was travelling a little bit hard, and you know, to still have the energy, to still have the turn of foot he showed in the straight was incredible. You know, it's going to be a big task, of course, taking on some really good horses. So, but I think he's got the potential. I think he's got the class to be there. So, you know, he's got a nice draw to help him. So, if he gets the right run, I think it's going to be very competitive.
That win last time in the Chinese Club Challenge Cup was 14, of course. But when you go back and look at his mile win, I mean, that was perhaps one of his most impressive performances, because he really did relish the mile.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, he's run the trip. Like you said, that was a really good win for him. Like I said, he's a horse that done nothing wrong. You know, he's always trying a good run or he wins. So, like I said, he's an exciting horse for the future.
In your mind as a rider, Karish, you're going into the race, obviously he has got quite a bit to find. I think it's £20 on local ratings with Voyage Bubble and maybe 10 on international ratings. How do you as a jockey sort of assess it? I mean, you're on a horse, he's up and coming. Potentially, he could be a Group 1 winner in waiting, but how do you look at it going forward?
Well, I believe he's still got some rating in hand. And you know, he's a progressing horse where I feel like after his last run, he's improved already. So of course, going into those races, you know, a horse like Voyager Bubble, you respect a lot. So in a race, you always sort of now see where Voyager Bubble is and try to save as much energy as you can, because you'll need them in a straight. So I know how good Patch of Theta is, and I think the draw is going to really help. And I know when I press the button, he's going to respond.
Great to hear there from Sha Tin, who of course rides for Francis Lloyd Patch of Theta and steps up into the big time, Paul, but he must be accredited some sort of chance off that last run.
Yeah, a good run. He's a group winner. He was a Group 3 winner last time. Can he come straight out and win a Group 1? I'm not so sure, but look, he's going to get the run to suit. He's drawn inside, so he definitely goes in for me. I think he's a chance, and he's a young up-and-coming horse who's going so well at the moment.
What about some of his rivals? You've got Voyage Bubble, Beauty Eternal, who's up on the pace here, but you've probably got to argue he's been a bit disappointing since Champions Day.
Well, I thought Voyage Bubble didn't give many other these horses a chance. He's going to get a similar run in this as well. He did win this race last year, and arguably he's in better form coming into the race this year. I can see him winning again. Cheng Cheng Glory caused a bit of trouble there on the inside. You can see him trying to barge his way out, and as such there was a concertina effect. Galaxy Patch got held up. He'll go back, so the smaller field will probably suit him as well. But I thought it was a really nice win from Voyage Bubble, and he won with plenty in hand. I didn't mind the way Cheng Cheng Glory picked himself back up after that interference as well, although he did cause it himself.
Yeah.
And you can see Galaxy Patch finishing off nicely.
Let's look at that interference towards the inside here, and you can just see he just wanted to lay out there all over happy together. It was just a chain reaction all the way out to those horses there on the outside. Beauty Joy was making up a bit of ground. Does he get an opportunity here too?
Yeah, he finished off really strongly, and he's another horse that he can sort of put in a good one, put in a bad one. He's a bit of an enigma like that, but that was one of the good ones.
Voyage Bubble's trial with also with Galaxy Patch Kaying rising in this trial, in the barrier trial here at Sha Tin. They ran 110.4. Nothing wrong at all with either trial from both of these horses.
No, exactly. Look, obviously Kaying Rising is 1200 metre specialist, and Voyage Bubble's a miler, but he was asked to chase him, and they weren't clear, these two. So I think it was a good blowout for him. Would have got rid of all the cobwebs for him, and you can see Galaxy Patch wasn't let go. So a nice trial from both for different reasons.
Yeah, he was right behind Helios Express there at Galaxy Patch. action under a good hold. On top for the Group 1?
Yeah, going to go with Voyage Bubble. I think he can win 2 in a row here, so he's on top to beat Patch of Theta, Galaxy Patch and Chang Cheng Glory. So 1-8-5-6.
That is a look at the second of the Group 1s. The Stewards Cup, the first leg of the Triple Crown here in Hong Kong, on the way, of course, to the Gold Cup and the Champions and Chater in later May. And that's time to go at 4:05. Race number 9 on the programme kickstarts the late treble on races 9, 10 and 11 for Sunday afternoon. The Mr Vitality Handicap. It's a Class 3 race over 1,400 metres. Packing Power, back from a failure last time out as a 1.8 favourite. He's been given 83 days since then. Seasons with Sky Trust has drawn barrier 12. Bundle Award very good despite being held up last start. Spanish Flame, 80 light years, has got barrier 14. Solid Impact with Lost Child, who's first up for 189 days. Romantic Sun was runner-up to a Dancing Code last start. New Forest is on debut, raced under the same name with Sarah Ryan, won on a heavy track at Kembla Grange. Up with Charm goes up and trip with the blinkers on for the first time, Douglas White. You got Winning Wing there with Midori Fuji and Kaying Superb. Speed here for this, Paul. You've got New Forest and Packing Power to go forward here. Yeah,
look, Packing Power's got the big weight in barrier 9, so I think he's going to have to try and get across. New Forest has led in a couple of trials here in Hong Kong, and led all the way recently up at Chung Fa. Midori Fuji, I thought Bundle Award would be a lot closer from barrier number 4. Lost Child, Romantic Sun won't be too far away. I think he can follow Bundle Award into the race. Sky Trust, now he's another one that can go forward, so he might, but he has drawn a little bit awkwardly in barrier 12.
Okay, there's the speed map for race number 9. Let's look at Bundle of Ward. There was a fair bit to like about this debut. In fact, his second up run, Paul, off the back of his debut when he was 9th, beaten 3 1/4 behind Johannes Brahms. He's chased home the talented Packing Angel here last time out. Barrier 4, James McDonald rides. He'll be right in the market, won't he?
Yeah, he will definitely be. And look, it was a really good run from him, and he improved, well, from start 1 to start 2. He didn't get much of a go in start 1 because he drew wide and was back along the rail, but this was a lot better run for him, and he didn't get out till late as well. I think Packing Angel was a horse going places, so it's a good form race to come out of.
Romantic Sun was better again at last time out. Obviously, he was no match for the winner, who was Dancing Code. Barrier 7, Zach Purton 6 with the David Hayes galloper.
Yeah, he does. And look, it was a really good run from him. He's had 4 starts now. He had his first couple at Happy Valley and just was beaten on debut by Young Emperor, was Romantic Sun. So he's yet to win here, but he's put in some pretty good races recently, and you can see him finishing off strongly. So he'll go in the numbers as well. It's a nice run from him, and you can see the best part of his work here was just towards the end of this race.
Yeah, nothing this day was going to catch Dancing Code. He was off and gone, so he has to be afforded a big chance in the race. A couple of trials to look at. Sky Trust is one of those, Paul. Back in the field in this trial up at Chung Fa. I thought he found the line particularly strongly. Did pull up Aurora last time out, so that obviously has to be a concern. But what do they do from 12? Because he is a horse that does generally go forward. Yeah,
he's going to have to look for cover. I sort of put him 3 wide with cover there because from barrier 12, I mean, they obviously tried something different with him sort of going back in this trial, and he did manage to settle all right. But he finished off the race nice enough. The roaring conditions probably a bigger concern than the barrier. But he did, I'm going to put him in on a very minor line because he's talented at his best.
And New Forest at making his debut off this trial up at Chung Fa. He said 4 trials all up at Chung Fa.
I like this trial from this horse. I think he's drawn nicely in barrier number 3. Mark Newnham can get his horses up and running quite early as well. He's by Justify this one. And I thought it was a really nice trial from him. I wonder if they'll get him on the all-weather at some stage as well with his breeding. But the way he finished off this trial up here, I think he can run a cheeky race here, fresh up from a low draw.
Yeah, that low draw is at barrier number 3, the former Sarah Ryan trained galloper who, as I said, did win on a rain-affected track at Kembla Grange in Australia. Who's on top for this?
I'm going to go with the Bundle Award, though. I think he improved a lot from his starts 1 to 2, and going into start 3 looks a winner with James McDonald aboard. So McDonald to beat Purton here. Romantic Sun, I think, will follow him right into the race. New Forest will put himself right there. We'll see if he can run a race at a bit of a price on debut. And then Sky Trust. 4, 9, 10, 3.
Race 9 to open the late treble, and that is underway Hong Kong time at 4:40. An intriguing race number 10 upcoming at Sha Tin. The second to last on the program is a Class 2 over the 2,000 metres. A few 4-year-old series clues here once again. And well, Senor Toba, he's had a stable change. He's in the stable now of Dennership. The cheek pieces are going on. The tongue tie is off. Stunning Peach, awfully unlucky his last couple. Mickley on a quick turnaround from last week where he ran 6th behind Dragon Joy. Bravehearts has won his last 3 of his last 4 starts. Romantic Thor definitely better last time out. The best Peach. Cambridge is on debut, raced under the same name with Aidan O'Brien, was winner at Salisbury prior to arriving here. You've got Natural Storm, who actually won this race last year. Noble Pursuit, Noisy Boy, a Happy Valley winner. Naval 4 second up. Samarkand, Supreme Agility down at the bottom, goes from 1,200 up to 2,000 metres. Speed map here, Paul. Winning Dragon, Noisy Boy. That Noisy Boy race, they went fairly quick there at Happy Valley.
They did, and he was on that pace. And look, Winning Dragon, I think he can get across from a low draw. He's drawn 4, so he should be able to lead Noisy Boy. Samarkand, Romantic Thor, both drawn wide. They're going to try and get across before that first bend. I'm not sure if Romantic Thor can do that, but if he does, that'll put himself right in the race. He's drawn barrier 14 with a bunch of gear changes there as well, but he's got the blinkers on for the first time. Naval Force is a lot better run from him last time. Mickley, Cambridge on debut, as you mentioned, last year's winner, Natural Storm, and Stunning Peach. He'll go back from 12, I've got no doubt, and hopefully he'll get a bit of luck.
Let's hear from Matthew Poon. He is having a wonderful season, and he's riding Bravehearts, who, as I said before, has won 3 out of his last 4 starts.
Matthew Poon, big meeting coming up on Sunday, and you've got a really nice ride on Bravehearts. He's a horse that you get on extremely well with, and another good win last time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Mark keep him very well, happy, healthy. So, like, he went very well last start in Class 2. This time the same class, but some different horses in the field. But like you know, he can handle the distance. He's fit, so hope he keep improving and well again.
Just going back and having a look at that race last time, Matt, I mean, it was a good field. As you say, it was a Class 2. He just keeps offering more and more, this horse, doesn't he? I mean, he just keeps finding that improvement, doesn't he?
Yeah, now I think now he know what he know the Hong Kong and know how to he know the game, like, so he know what to do. He can relax early and at the right time I asked him, he give me a really good finish.
Given that he does relax early and sort of you'll take him back, I mean, gate number 9 going into that first turn, any concerns there?
Well, I confident on the horse and trainer, so I think if he keep improving, he can 2,000 meter he can overcome.
Yeah, he's a horse who clearly likes this trip. As for you personally, Matthew, I mean, what a great season you've had. You're up to 20 winners. You must be really pleased with the way things are going.
Well, I cannot ask more. We got very thanks to the owner and trainer. Give me support in the beginning of season. Now, I just need to keep the momentum, keep the ball rolling. So, I keep work hard and do my best.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic time of things at the moment, is Matthew Poon, and riding the crest of a wave. Moving on to some of the replays here as well, Paul. Mickley on a 7-day turnaround. He ran well here without winning. I think he's still certainly on track for the 4-year-old series the way he has been going. Of course, he was very unlucky 2 starts ago. Interesting that John willing to turn him around on 7 days.
Yeah, look, and he was. I think the 2,000 metres is going to really suit him as well. The gaps were there, but about now they just sort of closed. So he was sort of snatched up a little bit late, but he didn't finish too far behind them. So he did. I think he had his opportunity in this race, but the 2,000 is a lot better for him. He looks like a real star, doesn't he?
Let's look at Stunning Peach now. He's had a quiet trial since his effort at Happy Valley last time out on International Jockeys Championship race night. He pulled up with a lame right front leg on the day after racing. Not surprising, really, because he looked like he was nearly going to come down at the 1,600 metres the first time round, and still, even after that, he was only 3.5 lengths away from the winner. Should have won that night too.
Yeah, he should have, definitely. I liked him that night. I'm going to stick with him. Look, as you say, the trial was nice and quiet as he comes down. He's drawn 12, but he gets back anyway, so I don't think it's going to be a massive disadvantage for him.
What price do you reckon?
I don't know. People will be the punters will be trying to get their money back, I think, from Happy Valley. I'd say close to 3, something around that mark. Zach Purton aboard. Depends what Zach's done earlier in the night. And if it's the one that he's going to break the record on, then there might be extra money on him.
Maybe. Is he on top then?
Yeah, he is. I'm going to go with him to beat Mickley. So Stunning Peach, the 2 to beat the 3 here. I'm going to put Naval Forsen. I thought it was a good run from him last time, and he could come into 4-year-old calculations here with a Pierre Ung's charge. He's drawn nicely in barrier 5. And then Bravehearts is just in such good form. Can't leave him out. 2, 3, 12, 5.
Yep, I've got the same numbers there for race number 10, the Able Friend Handicap. What a horse he was. Big Red, that is race number 10 on the card. The 11th race to wrap up the Sha Tin Sunday card is a good quality race. It is a Class 3 over the 1,200 metres, the Aero Velocity Handicap. And Ladies' Choice, a last start winner, going up £8. Dream Winner second up, but again pulled up a roarer, so don't know where he's at the moment. Invincible Shield raced under the same name with Tony Gollard. He won 4 in a row at Doomben prior to arriving here, but he's got the visitors draw, barrier 14. Storming Dragon, a last start winner, but not afforded the same sort of barrier. Majestic Express from 10. Sunnyvale is second up from barrier 1. Further down, Halo of Success, his second up run was very good. Prince of Port, he's been given plenty of time between races, 71 days. Times table, Oreo down towards the bottom, Fun Elite, Victory Sky, and also Meowth from barrier number 9. The speed here, Paul, Ladies' Choice. Last time out, he was able to dictate. You think he can again from 5?
Yeah, I think he can. He led all the way and won. So James McDonald aboard. I'm sure he can go to the front and lead. Halo of Success is drawn. He drew 11 in both his 2 starts. He's drawn 2 now, and he was an on-pace runner in Australia before he got here. So I think he's going to be a lot closer. Fun Elite can go forward. Dream Winner, as you mentioned, has had those issues. Meowth, another one that can be right on the pace as well. So it should be good pace in the last. Storming Dragon. Oreo and Victory Sky, I think, will both have to go back.
Okay, let's see here from David Eustace. He had 2 winners midweek at Happy Valley. One was at a big price, and he's got Halo of Success lining up in the last on Sunday.
David Eustace, Halo of Success, a runner for you coming up on the week. He's only had a couple of starts, but you put the tongue tie on last time and showed some nice improvement.
Yeah, he did. His first start, he was too fresh. He drew wide. Didn't really get much cover throughout, and was a line through run really. So he went back to the trials and ran well, and ran how I hoped he would have ran. First start. So happy with him. He's definitely come on, and pleased to see a good draw.
I mean, last time out, it was a half decent race too, really, wasn't it? I mean, he was kept making ground all the way to the line. He was certainly giving in the finish, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I thought he just got tired the last 50 to 100. He's a good doing horse, quite a gross horse who handles a solid amount of work, and he's very sound. So, I was pleased with him, and I do think he'll improve.
You must have been equally as pleased to see an inside barrier, gate 2, compared to 11 a couple of times.
Yeah, it's ideal. Obviously, he can just jump. He's a horse who jumps pretty well, and can then just ride the tempo of the race wherever he is in the first half dozen. But he can use the draw if we really want to, which I imagine we will.
Horses are in good form, David. A bit of a surprise double, if you will, on Wednesday night. And I thought the run of Silvery Breeze last weekend was pretty good too.
Yeah, horses are running well. It was pleasing to see Charity Gain win again. I felt he really deserved that. And Definitive was very tough, very brave, got a good ride, good tactics, and I sort of hope to see some improvement, maybe not that much with blinkers on. So hopefully he can go on with it. And Silvery Breeze is another horse who probably deserves to now draw a gate. Obviously won his first start and had a bit of luck there, but he's now had two runs from wide barriers, so we could do with a gate and trying to get his rating up.
11 wins so far this season for David Eustace in his rookie season. Ladies' Choice, Paul, was too strong for them last time out. Here off the front, it was a really strong performance from This galloper trained by Michael Chang, who's now a 4-time winner, all of them course and distance, and he's always very consistent, but he does have the extra 8 to shoulder here.
Yeah, he does, and I think that's going to be the key for him. He won nicely in front, and we know he's a really honest horse, Ladies' Choice. He always runs a good race. Like, he goes in, I'm not going to put him on top with that extra weight that he has to carry out. I think this race is a little bit harder than the one he did win here, and I think they'll be on to him as well. They won't let him get away with too much in front.
Yeah, he was stuck on really well there. He was able to dictate, and nothing could really get close to him in the end. He found plenty there over the final stages. One more to highlight. He's coming up in grade here. It is Fun Elite. The barrier staff this day were very proud of Fun Elite because there were a few horses playing up in the gates, and they were a little bit worried what this horse was going to do because he has had a few barrier issues in the past, but he sets sail for home here, Paul, after covering a bit of ground down the side and was too strong. Can he take the next step? Yeah, well,
he comes up into this class for the first time. He's a Class 4 winner 2 times now. He's drawn nice enough in barrier 6. Look, I think he's found a hard Class 3 race for his debut. I mean, there's no such thing as an easy Class 3 race, but this one's particularly tough. So I was happy to watch him in this.
Okay, so we'll see what he can do with the lightweight. On top for the last is?
Going to go with the one we just heard about in the interview, Halo of Success. I think he's going to be a lot closer, and he seems to be on the improve. I'm going to put Mealthin. I thought it was a really strong win when he did win. He should be a good price. He comes in with the lightweight. Victory Skies caught the eye, finishing off strongly. So a couple of lightweights here, and then a Ladies' Choice on a minor line. 8, 14, 13 and 1.
That is Paul's summation of race number 11, which is time to go at 10 minutes to 6 o'clock. All the races on the website, hkjc.com. Racing to win there as well. And we'll see you for the first at 12:30.